Hello and welcome everybody to the latest edition of Midweek Matters. I am James Graham, the host, joined by Charlie White. I'm going to apologise before we start the show. We are a little bit flat. Charlie brought in 5 pages of live reads to do. So
yeah, well, the thing is, Jimmy doesn't like stapled documents for some reason. So instead of me giving him 5 loose papers, he wants me to give him 5 loose bits of paper instead of stapled them. I don't see what's wrong with just stapling together. I mean,
you are an overuser of the stapler.
But I know this is a podcast and not everyone can see this, but
yeah,
it's much more annoying if I rip these all apart and then hand them to you all over the place.
No, I'd go, oh, thanks for that, Charlie. Let me organise these nicely. Once one's done, gone.
Well, you can still do that. Once one's done, you can grab it and then throw it.
Yeah, but then you've got a piece of metal that might scratch you.
I think Jimmy's also in a bit of a giddy mood as well. He's been giggling away since we got
here.
So
some of those live reads were pretty hard.
Pretty hard. But we've got
to do them in different voices, which, yeah. More erotic.
More erotic voices, yeah. I don't know if Ladbrokes want erotic live reads. I'll have to call them up and find out post this.
You never know.
You never know.
No, this sort of leads into the chat, the comment that Tony sent us about. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming. Was it John? Who I'm gonna assume is a man. Yeah. Maybe he's a bot or it's a bot. I don't know. But saying we remind him of the Devil's Wears Prada.
I don't actually know what that means because I haven't seen that movie since I was a little kid.
You watch him? Isn't it like an 18?
No. I think it's like what's her name? Meryl Streep.
Don't know. I've not seen it.
Well, I don't know why Meryl Streep was the way to describe it being like not an 18.
Yeah, I know.
But no, it's not an 18. I feel like it's an M. But my parents were quite liberal with letting me watch. Like when I was a little kid, I was watching American Pie. I think I watched when I was like 9 years old, and Scary Movie and stuff like that. So yeah,
interesting. So it does explain quite a bit.
But what does it mean that we're like Devil's Wears Prada?
Yeah, I don't know because I've not seen that movie myself. And again, I'm going to assume it's a bit of a chick flick, which sort of questions me. Sort of leads to the question is, why is John watching that?
Well, maybe John's a modern man who's into different things as well.
Like what?
Like into fashion. You know, he could be into haberdashery, which is knitting and those sorts of things. Yeah. Anyway, T-shirts. By the way, we've had so many reviews come through and we're giving you guys until Friday. So 2 more days to get the entrance in.
Keep reviewing. It does mean a lot. It does help, doesn't it? And
just so you know, so you're in the running, you have to send us a screenshot of the review. You know, that's all we need. And it can just be the 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple. Doesn't matter where it's from.
All 4.
Send it in. Someone did send us in a 4-star review. That's a bit cheeky. We've asked people to review and you're sending a 4-star review in. Like, he is in the running as well, this guy. But very cheeky of him. And also, Jimmy Rockbusters, it's my turn then.
We need to give the answer, don't we?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so for those of you that were listening,
yep,
that part of my foot is pretty clever. Brain toe.
Yeah. Yeah, well done. It was the second, like I said, it was the second time you used that part of the foot. So it was obviously toe related because you've done 2 toes.
I have.
And Dave Tom won the T-shirt. So posting that T-shirt to him.
Dave Tom.
I was gutted. He's in the UK, so postage is a bit more expensive. But that was devastating.
DT, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening as always, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We'll just cop that one. If we go under though,
if we have a bad month, Dave, we might have to get you to post a T-shirt back,
or just send us $5.
Pay for the postage.
Or I'll take it over next time I go.
I'm going in October. Maybe that's a better idea.
Have you got Rockbusters for me, Jimmy, for this show?
I do. And the one for you, I've got 2. One for the listeners, one for you. The first one I'll do is the one for you.
Okay.
A day your wife loves inside your favourite place.
Oh, Charlie.
What?
I've actually thought of this one.
Have you?
For you, but I think I had a better...
Of course, yours is better.
Valentine Holmes.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, well, there's another one that I had, which is for the listeners, but do you want to maybe play along for that one as well this week then? Because that was too easy. Okay, yeah, we'll beep it out. Yeah. Good idea. Anthony says we can beep it out. So The champion wasn't that bad, and he's mates with Hamish Blake. The champion wasn't that bad, and he's mates with Hamish Blake.
Who's Hamish Blake?
Oh, Hamish and Andy is Hamish Blake.
The champion wasn't that bad. So, I'm gonna have to.
I can't believe you didn't know who Hamish Blake was. You know, Hamish and Andy guy.
I know who Hamish and Andy are, but I wouldn't refer to them like by hence how they're called Hamish and Andy.
Yeah.
Not Hamish Blake and,
Hamish Blake,
Andy Smith.
Do you not know Andy's surname?
No.
You are going to struggle to get this one then.
I'm not going to guess because.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So his leads.
That's a little clue for you.
There's a little clue. All right. Well, I'm screwed.
Okay.
So that one's over to the listeners to get.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this Rockbusters.
Oh, I'm loving it. It's my favorite. It's one of my favorite things all week, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just come here looking forward to doing
that. It
that.
literally does keep me up at night.
Maybe during the off season we do a full episode of Rockbusters. Just pure Rockbusters from start to finish.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we'll get many people tuning in for the whole thing, to be honest. It might be fun for me and you, but everyone else just be like, what the hell are they talking about?
Rugby league never sleeps, and we'll start the show with this.
How do you feel, Jimmy? Let's find out, thanks to Tui's.
And you were going to start with the Melbourne Storm parading their premierships around last Friday when they were playing the Parramatta Eels. And it was a 25-year reunion, the best NRL club we've probably ever seen, arguably Australia's most dominant sporting franchise. But the issue was they paraded around their 07 and 09 premierships. Now, they obviously cheated the salary cap in those years and were caught cheating the salary cap in those years. They were playing the Parramatta Eels, who were the team that lost to them in 09. So that was the extra little bit of salt in the wound. How do you see it? I know people are coming out defending them, but how do you see that one, Jimmy?
Yeah, look, I can understand the Melbourne Storm's rationale and justification for acknowledging those, but I think it went a little bit too far. Having the replica premierships there, publicly celebrating. If it was behind closed doors, you can do that, and I get the whole those players still did all the training, they still won those games, they still quote unquote won the premiership, but fundamentally they denied and robbed teams, players, fans of that feeling that they got later down the track legitimately. So some of those players know what it feels like. Now that feeling and that accomplishment was taken away from some people because they were not playing by the rules. They were playing with an unfair advantage. So look at other areas where unfair advantages have been taken. So other sports, Juventus robbed of all their, or they had all their premierships, their recent championships taken off them. Or if an athlete takes drugs. So can you imagine Ben Johnson or Marion Jones parading their gold medals around? Like the baseball players that have been found guilty of performing enhanced drugs. With baseball, it's a little bit different, but I'm trying to think. Ben Johnson, 88 in Seoul, a long time ago, set a record. Like, does he sit there with that? And, does he go to the Canadian reunion and go, brings his gold medal? Like, does that get celebrated by them? Like, he still was the fastest man.
Is your only problem with it then the fact that they had the trophies there?
I
Because
think
obviously they've got it. It's a 25-year reunion of the club, so everyone gets invited.
Yeah,
all the different teams are coming in. So I mean, of course they're going to pay a little bit of respect to the 07, 09 teams. They can't just wipe those years away.
No, they can't. But they can do it in a behind closed doors, more professional manner. In my opinion,
I think it was especially bad that they were playing Parramatta, and it was the 09.
Well, and that's my point. Is like those lads and those people within that organisation know what it feels like. And they denied or robbed not just Parramatta, but teams they beat along the way to even get there. And like, really, the most important thing within sport, in my opinion, is that you play fair.
The salary cap isn't equal, though, in the NRL. Like, even now, the Storm pretty much play on a bigger salary cap when you look at the third-party deals they have compared to other clubs.
Yeah,
so they're kind of already... They're still now playing on a high salary cap.
I know what you're saying, Charlie, and I get that. But this has been proven beyond doubt that what they did was fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
And look, I get their arguments for it, but again, in my opinion, it should have been It should have been that it could have been celebrated in a less public arena, like less on, like not on their official Twitter, Instagram, Facebook pages. You know,
yeah, they publicly posted they were celebrating, which was odd. Maybe the NRL should then step in and say, "Hey guys, that's not appropriate.
Well, I think
we have punished you. We've removed these titles from you. You going around celebrating is kind of a slap in the face."
Well, I think there was. This isn't the first time that this has come up. I think there was a knock-on
almost every year. Every year, something like pops up with them celebrating the team.
Like if they had, a private event where they acknowledge those players from those teams, like, good on them. Like, it's private, but for this to be publicly paraded, I think you've got to know you're going to invite the criticism and you've got to cop it.
Yeah.
And look, I get it. Like, those players still did it, but they denied and robbed them. And you look at other areas where sporting achievements have been proven to be unfairly gained, like people who take performance-enhancing drugs, they get stripped of those, and you can't imagine. Like, I'm just thinking that those are the two that really spring to mind.
Yeah,
like Marion Jones, Ben Johnson, two of the because this is the pinnacle, right?
Yeah,
NRL is the pinnacle.
Yeah,
those two individuals were at the pinnacle of their sport and broke records, and they had them taken away. Like that. Can you imagine the difference? Like Lance Armstrong, he sits in his own house now and he's got his yellow jerseys up, but that's private. And he can show them to the world, but everyone really goes, The
thing with Lance Armstrong is, like, the top 50 were all
doped up. And again, I
almost, I know, don't get sidetracked on Lance Armstrong, but I actually kind of think he should see himself still as a winner.
Well, he can justify that because of what's been proven about, if you were to give the Tour de France winner to the person that the next legitimate non-performance enhancing drug taker, we're talking something like 25th.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. That's been proven.
Yeah.
And there is also, I can't remember who was saying it, but also an argument I heard once that actually doing the Tour de France is safer on performance enhancing drugs than doing it naturally.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up tournament, to be honest.
Yeah, but anyway, we are sidetracking a little bit. But I think, look, again, my point is this: I get why they celebrated it, but I just think doing it publicly is a bit of a slap in the face because, like I say, they've robbed and denied those fans, players, clubs of that feeling that they know exactly what it's like.
I don't think many people would disagree with you as well. I think there's possibly even people from the Melbourne Storm actual teams who are maybe a little bit embarrassed, like, going through that process. Like, they know in their own hearts exactly what happened. Yes, they have those memories of winning it, but it would be tainted a little bit looking back on it. It's impossible not to, like, especially with all the drama that then happened and went on at the club. Like, it would be in your mind.
And you can convince yourself that everyone else was cheating the cap.
Yeah. The thing about the salary cap though was it actually them cheating the salary cap allowed them to have this 25 years of dominance as well, because otherwise they would have lost some of their key spine players. You would have thought. Yeah, well,
so you make a very good point, Charlie. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to tell you about AG1, the daily foundational nutritional drink with all your needs in the one place. I like to look after my health, and AG1 takes care of that for me. No more tablets, vitamin pills, all the health, nutrition I need, all in the one place. Every single morning, it's as easy. Open up the fridge, scoop of AG1 in a glass, cold water, stir it with a fork, drink it. It tastes great, and it helps me know. It gives me the peace of mind that all my nutritional needs are taken care of, all in the one drink. It really is as simple as that. And also, anybody that knows anything about health benefits knows that it comes with adding simple routines to your day. It's not about magic pills. They're not going to work. AG1 helps me be the best version of myself by having this new habit of every single morning having that drink. I know my nutritional bases are covered thanks to AG1. A lot of athletes are now taking AG1, and with 75 high quality ingredients, it's no wonder why. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/buy-round. That's drinkag1.com/buy-round. Check it out.
Anyway, another point that's been made this week. I don't know if it's a good point or not, but Gus Gould's come out. Last week he put a line through the Brisbane Broncos. This week he's now come out. Latrell Mitchell's in his sights, and he said that he's not a big game player. It was on 100% footy on Monday night. He said he went on a little rant about Latrell Mitchell. Basically said on a prelim final, you put him in front of 50,000 people, he's not going to perform. Now that's a big, big call. When Latrell Mitchell is a 2-time Premiership winning player and a player that is as a big game as it gets, in clutch moments, he's always the guy stepping up.
Yeah, well, didn't he, was it the Origin series previously? Not the one that's just gone, the one before, where he was pretty dominant in a couple of those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's dominated in Origin for sure.
Yeah, so
a lot of people would say that if he played this series, they probably would have won, especially game one, because there was a couple moments where he would have been that left edge and they bombed tries.
Yeah. Look, I have to disagree with Gus's comments. I think
that was odd. A guy was sounding a skateboard then.
Yeah, just outside the studio, sounding a skateboard. Yeah. Sanding a skateboard. Those bloody skaters.
Yeah.
We should put a sign up saying no skateboarding.
That's bizarre.
Where were we? Gus. No, look, I think I don't know why Gus has said that. Strange.
Very strange. I've got a little theory, and it could be wrong. I think he's maybe trying to fire up the teams going up against Penrith, because there's probably still a little bit of bad blood there, the way things ended. And this last week he's fired at the Broncos, who are one of the Panthers contenders, and now this week he's trying to fire up South Sydney, who are currently on the third line of betting at Ladbrokes. Is he trying to maybe give them that extra little push they need?
So inside the dressing rooms, they're saying you're not a big game player. They're saying you're like to the Broncos. They're saying
yes.
The media.
The media's coming at you. Gus is coming for you.
Interesting.
Because really, both comments are sort of more towards the absurd side. Like Broncos putting a line through them when they're sitting top of the table is strange. And then Latrell Mitchell saying he's not a big game player is strange.
Yeah.
2-time Premiership winner.
I hope we get to see Latrell in some big games.
Yeah.
I really do. Look, I'm not mad keen on South Sydney. We've had some big games against them, but I like watching them play this year. And after 10 games, they were flying. And then they've just, I don't know, I really hope that they get to play some big knockout. I hope they get to at least a Final Four and we get to see them in some big knockout games.
Because that has been the issue with Latrell, hasn't he? His hammy a couple of years ago.
Yeah, then his calf.
Took out Joey Manu.
Yeah. But I just hope we get to see, I hope we get to see the best South Sydney play. I hope we see, and that goes for all teams. Part of me really wants to see Broncos v Souths in a knockout game.
Oh, mate, that is the dream grand final. Adam Reynolds against South Sydney. Jason Demetrio, like, who was brushed by the Broncos as well when they got rid of Wayne. They also got rid of Jason Demetrio as well. So there's bad blood there on both sides.
Do you reckon Volandis and Abdo, if they've got like, that's the one they're going 100%. For?
100%. Because then you got Brisbane and Sydney represented. Like, and I mean, with all like Penrith Panthers, I actually wouldn't mind seeing them three-peat because it's so impressive the fact that they've lost players and kept it going.
Yeah.
That's what's so impressive about it. That's why you're not kind of sick of it because you didn't expect them to do it. But Rabbitohs Broncos is just as good as it gets.
Yeah, like if my prediction comes true, like Penrith v the Storm, that'll be a bit of a... Like, it'll still be great.
Yes.
But it won't be... It'll be a bit... We'll see. Here we go
we've seen this before. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, South Broncos.
Gus Broncos. And Adam Reynolds. It's like... It's Adam Reynolds' sort of moment.
Well, I think Dimitri would come out today and said South fans need to sort of forget him. And but, oh, God, that'd be so much fun to watch those two go against each other.
And do you know what will also be so much fun, Jimmy? The round this weekend...
As always.
There is some crackers. Some absolute crackers.
Bulldogs have got the bye as well. So
they got 2 points then. Get in.
Happy days. They had a great victory on the weekend, by the way.
You enjoyed yourself at Bundaberg, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Couple of days. How many days were you up there for?
Got there Friday, came back Monday.
Yeah, okay, nice. Who was up? Who were you with?
The Bulldogs.
So who is it? Like a few of ex-players involved there?
Terry Lamb.
Hasmel Masri, is he involved in the club?
No, he is, but he wasn't on the Bundaberg trip.
Just you and Terry?
Yep. And then a couple of the corporate teams and corporate partners.
Nice.
So yeah, it was good fun. Good spot, Bundaberg.
Yeah, I've never been.
It's worth going to. The 2 flights to get there from Sydney, but I mean, it's good. Good town.
Where you go via Brisbane?
Mm-hmm.
Tough life, mate.
Yeah,
tough life for you.
It's the lowest point of the Great Barrier. It's the lowest point of the Great Barrier Reef as well.
Right. What does that mean? Lowest point?
The most southerly point.
Okay. So it's the start of the Great Barrier Reef.
Or the end.
True. Anyway, the footy. Sydney Roosters, Manly Seagulls Thursday night. Manly are still in the hunt. They need to win this one, obviously, though.
Roosters are favourites.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a bit harsh on Manly. Manly beat them the other week.
Yeah. I don't... Like, Manly have got everything to play for. I think Roosters' reality is they ain't playing finals.
So what are they playing for then, the Roosters? Because you look at their team, there's maybe a lot of those guys are playing for their Roosters' future. You might argue.
Yeah, you could be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent Robinson might be having a look to see who wants this and who doesn't.
The Suwali stuff, you guys spoke about it on Brandon Smith show on Tuesday. There's a lot. The criticism's coming his way. I think it's a bit over the top personally, but I mean, there is rumours that he might be moved on at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a massive surprise if he did. I think really, to be honest, like Rugby Australia are getting pretty desperate, and they would want to fast track him in. It would save Roosters some money on the cap, but then I think a lot of that. I said this midweek. That I think a lot of this it's the league v union jab, like, haha, look what you've got. Like, he's out of form this year.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been saying this last year when he was like banging down the door and arguably should have played State of Origin and was the 18/19 the best winger in the competition.
And you don't normally see wingers carry shit teams to success.
Yeah.
That's not really the job of a winner.
Yeah.
And the Roosters this year are a shit team.
They're not playing well, are they?
They're a shit team this year.
Yeah, they're really not playing well. So has that been part of it, that distraction of him going to rugby? I mean, I don't know. We forget, like, he's just turned 20. Like,
crazy.
Like,
I reckon it's a massive loss that he's going to rugby union for the game. And
yeah, me too.
Friday night, then Jimmy.
Well, hang on. Who are you tipping in that game?
Oh, I'll go Manly. Who are you going for?
Yeah, I'm going to go Manly as well.
Manly, okay. All right. Friday night then. Titans against the Warriors. The Warriors are fresh off the bye. Titans fresh off upsetting the Cowboys, but it's a short turnaround for them, 5 days.
Yeah, that's where it hurts the Titans, that short turnaround. I don't know how they beat the Cowboys, mind you. Warriors for me.
It's funny. That's another one of those games where it feels like the NRL's got the scheduling wrong. A team off the bye and you also give them a 5-day turnaround. Doesn't seem fair. Friday night, though.
Yeah.
That's not fair, is it?
They need to fix the algorithm up.
Yeah, but I think what you said, I think it was on this show, that they've got an algorithm, but it doesn't account for like buys, turnaround, things like that.
They've not factored that in.
Yeah.
No. I think turnarounds it does, but not
buys.
Not buys.
Yeah. Friday night then, Panthers against the Storm. When they played last, you said this was your grand final. That's still the case?
I think so, yes. Yeah. With Pappenhausen on the cusp of coming back. I think he's playing Queensland Cup
playing for the Falcons
weekend. Yes. I just love the Storm spine, and Penrith sort of speaks for itself, and like, what a game it was last time these two played. Like, it was insane. Like, the Storm came out all guns blazing, and then Spencer Leniu turned the tide. Like, I think Storm were they 14 or 16-0?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it was played at.
Do you want me to check for you?
It was played at the AFL ground, because I remember
Marvel?
it being Marvel. Yeah, Storm got off to a flyer, and then somehow Penrith like dug their way back in. Isaac Tango had an absolutely sensational game. I'm gonna go the Panthers in a very tight one.
Yeah. It was the Storm got out to a 14-0 lead. Oh, sorry, 16-0 lead. Yeah, they did.
I thought they did, yeah.
Wow.
So I've got the Panthers this time. Again, at home, I think they'll be too strong.
14-0 lead, sorry. Not 16-14. Saturday then, match of the round.
But it will be close.
Will be close. Closer than it was, yeah.
Because they've got 8.5 star, the Panthers.
Yeah, wow. Mate, the Panthers are so good.
I know, but
they
8.5 against the Storm.
Someone had a question on Instagram. I think his name was Scott, on the last show on YouTube, on the Jam and Cheese show. Panthers, if you could build a team, the rest of the NRL could build a team, could the Panthers challenge that team?
Ooh.
So it's a best of the other 16 clubs.
That's a good question. Maybe we can answer that next week.
Are you going to do you want to do your selections, match them up?
No, it's just a waste of a good question.
Okay.
We get some hot shockers.
We do. But keep them coming, though.
Keep them coming, but good questions they are.
Cowboys, Broncos, Saturday. I think this is the match of the round, personally, ahead of Panthers, Storms. I think it'll be a cracker. They always just have great games, don't they, the Cowboys and the Broncos?
Yeah, they do. I've got the Cowboys. They bounce back. They're a great team at bouncing back, so I've got them.
You know, Val Holmes now got 4 weeks. I think it's a massive loss to lose him. Plus, you've already got Nanai out with the AC joint. It's two of their best players now they don't have for the finals race.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is a big loss. But I've just... The Cowboys, I can't get a read on them. They lose that game that they should have won. I think they'll get the Broncos at home.
Do you think that if they lose this, though, they could be in danger maybe of missing the 8? I think they've still got a couple other easier games. I think they've got the Sharks still as a run out. I know to say that's an easy game now, you wouldn't have said that a few weeks ago, but it is now probably an easy game.
Well, I think when Cheese was on the show, he was like, geez, last time I was on the show, the Sharks were in second. And like now they're in...
They're free fall.
Yeah, they're in free fall.
They might finish like 12.
I think the Cowboys will have enough to make the 8. Yeah.
Dolphins v Knights. It's another big game on Saturday. Can the Knights keep the run going, Jimmy?
Yes, they can. I think they'll have too much for the Dolphins. This one's over in Perth as well. But yeah, fancying the Knights. Yeah, the Dolphins. They've been a great story this season, but the Knights are just in terrific form. They really are playing so well.
What do you make the fact that Holbrook met with the Knights, and the Knights are allegedly still prospecting the market for other head coaches?
Well, for me, I had it. I think last week the race to the 8 was down to 9. I think it's opened up to 11 now with the Knights and Manly. There's a couple of slip-ups over the weekend, which has opened that race up. And then the Knights with their draw, they can have a genuine crack at making the 8 here. So I think they've acted prematurely, the Knights. In speaking to Des, I think they probably in-house sort of wrote this season off, but they've been fantastic lately.
Because the other thing is, mate, like he's had a lot of issues at the Knights while he's been there. I mean, Ponga's injuries, his concussion issues, every year he's had big key injuries to spine players. I think he lost Jaden Brayley. He's lost Jaden Brayley a couple of times for season-ending injuries. And he's your captain as well of the Knights. So he has had some issues. And I think the fact that they are competing with all that's happened this year to them, when really they lost half their spine, it's incredible. Yeah. And lost half their spine, and Lockie Miller flopped.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and Ponga, his move to 5'8" was just, I think reading reports that was driven by him as a coach, marquee player, influential player, not just on the field but in the dressing room as well. You'd want to help him go and answer that question, and you might think personally, no, he's a better fullback, but I don't know, it takes a strong character to say, no, you're going to stay at fullback, we'll give you a crack at 5'8", especially when Lockie Miller came over. So look, that experiment or trial didn't work out.
Yeah.
And cost Newcastle short term, but it's paying dividends now.
It's not the first time they tried to move Ponga to the halves as well. Nathan Brown tried to do it for a little bit as well, moved Ponga to 5'8". Let's just leave Ponga at fullback now.
Leave him there.
All right, Saturday then, Jimmy, it's the double header in Perth as well. So the Bunnies are taking on the Sharks in Perth also. The Sharks slide continues, and it's a long flight for a team that's struggling.
It is. Hope Cam McInnes has got business class flight. He deserves it. Yep. If not, the Sharks player should chip in. He deserves to lie down over there and then lie down on the way back.
Well, most NRL players, you just get economy as an NRL player, don't you?
Yep.
Because whenever
when you're going to play, to play a game,
economy,
NRL team would just fly economy, absolutely.
Do you think that it was fair? Did that annoy you as a football player? Like, why do we have to do that? I've never flown business, so I wouldn't know what it's like, but
it didn't really bother me.
No?
Normally I'd jag an exit row.
Okay, yeah. So you're a man of the people.
It's just, you're never flying that far.
Yeah, fair enough. Sunday then, Eels Dragons. You're going to be at this game.
I'm not giving a tip for Rabbit Sharks.
Go on then. Let me guess, the Bunnies.
Yes, but I think it'll be close.
Really?
I do. I don't think the Bunnies are going to run away with it like most people are thinking.
Yeah.
I've got the Sharks to make a decent fight.
I reckon Gus Gould has let down the Sharks. It was going to be a close game, but now Latrell's going to be fired up. All the Bunnies players are going to be fired up. Sunday then, Eels Dragons, you're going to be at the game. Dylan Brown's back, which is massive news for Parramatta fans.
Yeah, he's had that suspension. That's done and dusted. He was playing so well before he had that off-field incident, which resulted in a lengthy suspension. He's back. Eels are at 10-10. 4 games to go. They've got to bye the last round of the season, round 24. So, on my calculations, they're going to need to win 3 of those last 4. This is must win. 2 of those games are one's against Brisbane, one is against Penrith. So it's a tough ask for the Eels, but if they're any chance of playing finals, this is a must win.
The only thing that could help them is if the Panthers in the last couple rounds rotate. That's because, you're right. If they lose the Dragons, you just put a line through them. They're 100% done. Because their other game is against the Roosters as well, so they should win that game. So there's 2 games they should win, and you're right, they've got to beat one of those top teams. Dylan Brown comes back, and you did the Sunday show with Aaron Woods for Triple M, and he said that Dylan Brown sort of has cost Parramatta their season.
Yeah, I think it's it's whether or not he obviously didn't mean to do that, but his actions have cost him. Yeah.
So you're tipping the Eels, I assume, though.
Yes.
Raiders Tigers, Jimmy.
It's on the rundown. Danger game for Raiders. I am in full agreement with that.
I think the Tigers are going to win. It's actually my same game multi is Tigers to win, Nofaluma to score a try, $6.78.
You love the Tigers and Nofaluma to score.
Well, it's I've only actually tipped them a couple of times, and I think they might have won every time I've tipped them.
I've got
a good Tiger radar.
Wasn't you good? Wasn't your golden rule? Never back the Warriors or the Tigers.
Titans. But those 2 multis they did at the start of the year, they actually both won when I backed the Warriors and Titans.
Okay, so you've gone Tigers to win
and Nofaluma scratch. They're paying like $3.60 or something. But yeah, alongside Nofaluma.
Fair enough. All right, well,
it feels like a danger game, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
And the Tigers are building.
What are they building?
Well, they're building better performances. Like even the Bunnies, they were close in the Bunnies going into the last 10 minutes. They were better off the week before that as well. I think that they're building to a win. So for the last 2 weeks, they lost by 14 to the Bunnies, which looks worse than it is because really it was 2018 with 10 to go. The Dragons knocked them off by 4 points, and they were okay against the Knights when they lost by 16 points. So
who did Raiders lose to last week?
Raiders lost to the Knights. Pumped
pretty
by
convincingly
the Knights,
as
at
well,
home in a big game that meant something to their season.
Yeah, they've got to respond to that. The Raiders. I'm going to back the Raiders.
Okay, well, Rockbuster, you did very well getting Valentine Holmes. I'm a bit gutted about that. I went too easy.
Yeah,
and it's annoyed me that you had one in mind for that as well. But did you have any idea of the other one?
Absolutely not a sausage of an idea.
Okay, so Hamish Blake's friend is.
No,
Andy Lee.
You don't.
Yeah, I'll just say, but I've already given that clue away.
Yeah, Andy Lee. But the listeners.
But he does. You don't want to give. Now that you know that, it doesn't want to check. You don't want to have a crack at it because we'll beep it. We'll beep it so they can still have a chance. Yeah.
But the listeners are going to hear these sort of like insights.
Yeah. They've been given a clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go on.
No, I'm not going to give you the answer. You got to have a guess.
Okay. Well, what's
the thing? Let me get up the full thing. The champion wasn't that bad, and he's mates with Hamish Blake.
So Andy, what's Andy's second name?
Lee. You got it or not?
No.
Nah. Well, there's a t-shirt up for grabs for whoever gets it. And also remember those reviews. We've got 2 days to go if you want to get in the competition to win the reviews. And thanks very much for everyone that's done that because it makes a massive difference. Plus, we're getting closer and closer to 10,000 YouTube subscribers, 1,000 away.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week on Midweek Matters.